my name is Katie Martin and I am from the town of Queen Creek. At first, growing up, I never really saw this town as anything other than simple and tiny. There was never really much going on around here. But as I've gotten older, I realized that this town, it has so much character and history woven into every single part of it. And it's a lot more than you think at first glance. I can say that because I've literally grown up here. I spent my childhood from 3 to 19 playing soccer, volleyball, hanging out with my family here, and I've seen the town grow nonstop. It's always been growing, and so I've seen it change firsthand, and I've also done a lot more research for this project. So today I want to inform you about the town of Queen Creek and where it came from, what it's like today, and why it's so meaningful to me now. So here's what I'm going to talk about. First, we'll talk about the history of Queen Creek. Second, we'll talk about the key facts and characteristics of what it's like today. And then I'll share some of my favorite places that I have such meaningful memories. And so with that being said, let's go back to where Queen Creek began. Queen Creek is located in the southeast corner of the metropolitan area. It's located between both Maricopa County and Pinal County. And a lot of people don't realize that we are located in both of those counties, and I think that's really cool. The Santan Mountains are right next to it, and the Queen Creek Wash also runs through everything, basically. It's what made farming possible. The wash is amazing. And Queen Creek history really began in the 1900s with farming and irrigation. The soil around the wash was perfect for agriculture, and before the town was ever called Queen Creek, it was called Rittenhouse, based off C.H. Rittenhouse, and he created a railroad spur for getting crops in and out of the area, which I think is really cool. I drive on Rittenhouse all day, every day, and that's just such an interesting fact to learn about, and so I'm happy that I know more history about that now. But we literally had a tiny railroad stop, and I think that was so cool. As for the name Queen Creek, it comes from a creek that was originally called Picket Post Creek, and it was renamed to Queen Creek, and they basically adopted that name after the creek. A lot of early settlers came to Queen Creek because the farmland was so amazing. They grew cotton, citrus, corn, potatoes, and pecans. These are the pecan trees right here. There's literally a neighborhood of it now, and we used to go take pictures there all the time. Proof. But yeah, we grow our pecans. This is our cotton field, the wash. We have an olive mill, and I live right next to the wash. It's right behind me, and I used to go there all the time. When I was younger, I was obsessed. Every time after it rained, I would go down to the wash, and I would follow it up to the cotton fields, and I would look for frogs because I was weird. But I would look for them, and that's where they were because the grass and the land was so wet and perfect for agriculture. And I still want to do that all the time. But now that agriculture side of the town it's still part of our everyday life. There's literally a cotton field that's still growing and thriving right next to me. And by the time Arizona was a state in 1912, Queen Creek had already had a general store, a church, a post office, and community events like street dances and swimming holes. So even back then, the small town feel of community was still there. Queen Creek officially became a town in 1989. At the time, there were only about 2,500 residents, but from 2000 onward, Queen Creek exploded. I mean, huge. It became one of the fastest growing towns in the entire state. Just recently, between 2022 and 2023, there was an 8% growth in 1 year. That's just crazy. So this is 1990 and this is 2025. The spike is insane. So basically, Queen Creek started as a farming community, officially incorporated in the late 80s, but grew super quickly for the suburban family-oriented families. Now that you understand how Queen Creek started, let's talk about what the town looks like today and what it's known for. Today, Queen Creek has a population of over 75,000 people. That number keeps increasing really fast. It's known for it's known for being one of the fastest growing towns in Arizona. The town is very family oriented. The median age is about 30s, and the family size is about 3.5. Queen Creek is also known for agritourism, which basically means it still embraces the farming roots. As I mentioned, we still have our crops that are growing perfectly and amazingly. Our places like Chef Farms and the Queen Creek Olive Mill, which I am 100% guilty of. We we bring people in from all over Arizona. Chef Farm has festivals throughout the year. I just went to the October one, and the Olive Mill is a big restaurant that grows olives. There's a restaurant in Scottsdale that imports their olives from the olive mill, and I think that's amazing. Even though Queen Creek is growing super fast with new businesses and restaurants, neighborhoods, it still really works hard to keep that rural charm. And you can go to a brand new shopping center street lined with citrus trees and a big cotton field. So today, Queen Creek is fast growing, family oriented, and agriculturally rooted town. That's one of the most appealing places to live in Arizona, in my opinion. Now that you know the bigger picture of my hometown, I'll talk about some memories that I love and still think about to this day. One of my absolute favorite places growing up was the Queen Creek Marketplace. I used to go there all the time with my mom because she used to shop there, and there was a Starbucks in there. And during the winter, I would always get a hot chocolate because I begged and begged. And every time we were walking out, I would drop it on the floor no matter what. Without fail, I would drop it every single time. And I still think about that every time I go into that Target, and I love it so much. I feel bad for my mom's pockets. Secondly, the Barney Sports Club. I grew up there. Basically, it was my second home because I played soccer and volleyball. They taught me everything I know to this day, and I'm so grateful for them. It's not around anymore, but I still think about it so wholesomely, and it's just one of my favorite places to think about. So those two places, the Marketplace and the Barney Sports Club, represent the two sides of Queen Creek for me: the everyday community life and the personal memories from sports and growing up. With that in mind, let's wrap up. In closing, Queen Creek is so much more than just my hometown. I talked about its history and how it began as a farming community, the facts and the characteristics that define the town today, and my own favorite places that shaped my childhood. Even though Queen Creek keeps growing and changing all the time, the memories I made there will never change, and I cherish them with everything I have. No matter where life takes me, the fields, the sports nights, and even the spilled Starbucks cups will always be part of me. Thank you so much.